Hi guys, today we're exploring 10 breathtaking places you absolutely have to visit in Spain. We're talking about a city that never sleeps and invented the concept of nightlife. Ancient palaces so ornate they look like they were carved from lace, a cathedral so massive it took over a century to build, villages perched on clifftops above crashing waves, and beaches that stretch on forever beneath a blazing Mediterranean sun. Spain may feel familiar on a map, but this country hides more drama, flavor, and raw beauty than almost anywhere else in Europe. Let's start it. Number 1. Barcelona. Barcelona is one of those cities that grabs you the moment you arrive, and doesn't let go. Designed by visionary architect Antoni Gaudí, this city is filled with buildings that look more like living organisms than structures. The Sagrada Familia Church has been under construction since 1882, and it still manages to be one of the most breathtaking buildings on Earth, with towers that spiral into the sky like giant stone coral reefs. Wander down La Rambla past flower stalls and street performers, explore the maze-like Gothic quarter where medieval alleyways hide tapas bars and hidden squares. Or head to Park Güell where colorful mosaic terraces overlook the entire city and the sea beyond. Then there's the food, world-class seafood, Pinkso's bars, and some of the best restaurants on the planet just steps from the beach. Number 2. Seville. Seville is the heartbeat of Andalusia, and the most passionate city in Spain. This is where flamenco was born. On any given night, you can duck into a small tablao and watch dancers stomp, spin, and pour raw emotion into every movement while guitars wail and audiences fall into a spell. The Alcazar of Seville is a royal palace of breathtaking beauty, a labyrinth of Moorish arches, tiled courtyards, and fragrant orange gardens that has been continuously inhabited since the 10th century. The cathedral next door is the largest Gothic church in the world, and inside stands the tomb of Christopher Columbus. Dining outdoors at 11 p.m., sipping fino sherry and dancing until dawn. Number 3. Madrid. Madrid is Spain's capital, a grand, confident city packed with world-class art, royal palaces, and a nightlife that is genuinely legendary. The Prado Museum holds one of the greatest art collections ever assembled, Velázquez, Goya, El Greco, all in one enormous building. Nearby, the Reina Sofia houses Picasso's Guernica, one of the most powerful paintings in history. But Madrid is equally about life outside the museums. Spend a Sunday morning at the El Rastro flea market, eat churros with thick hot chocolate in a century-old cafe, and explore the beautiful Retiro Park where locals row boats on a lake surrounded by rose gardens. Number 4. Granada. Granada is where three worlds collide, Christian, Moorish, and Jewish, and the result is one of the most historically layered cities in Europe. At the top of the hill above the city sits the Alhambra, a Moorish palace complex so intricately decorated it feels like stepping inside a dream. Every surface is carved with geometric patterns and Arabic calligraphy. Water channels run through gardens filled with roses and myrtle hedges. Views over Granada and the snow-capped Sierra Nevada mountains stretch in every direction. Below the Alhambra, the Albayacin neighborhood climbs the opposite hillside in a tangle of whitewashed houses. Cave dwellings and tea houses where North African spice markets still operate just as they did centuries ago. Number 5. San Sebastián. San Sebastián is the most delicious city in the world, and that is not an exaggeration. Tucked into a perfect crescent bay on Spain's northern Basque coast, this elegant city has more Michelin-starred restaurants per square meter than almost anywhere on Earth. But the real magic happens in the Pinkso's bars of the old town, where counters groan under towering stacks of bite-sized Basque snacks, smoky peppers, salt cod, jamon, and things you've never tasted before. Walk the curve of La Concha Beach, considered one of the most beautiful urban beaches in Europe. Number 6. Toledo. Toledo is a city that looks like it was lifted directly from the Middle Ages and set down, untouched, on a rocky hilltop above the Tagus River. For centuries, Toledo was the capital of Spain, a place where Christians, Muslims, and Jews lived side by side and built something remarkable together. The winding streets are so narrow that two people can barely pass each other. And around every corner you find a Gothic cathedral, a Moorish mosque converted into a church, or a synagogue that has stood for 700 years. The skyline, seen from across the river at dusk, is one of the most stunning views in Spain, a tangle of towers and steeples rising above ancient stone walls. Number 7. Ronda. Ronda is the most dramatic village in Spain, a town literally split in two by a gorge that drops 120 meters straight down into the valley below. The Puente Nuevo bridge connects the two halves of the city across this vertiginous drop, and just standing on it and looking down at the tiny river far below makes your stomach drop. The views from the clifftop mirador over the surrounding patchwork of farmland and mountains go on forever. Ronda is also considered the birthplace of modern bullfighting, and its 18th century bullring is the most beautiful in Spain. But mostly Ronda is about that view, one of the most jaw-dropping natural settings of any town in Europe. Number 8. Ibiza. Ibiza has a reputation. But the island is far more than just the clubs and the parties. Yes, the nightlife here is genuinely in a category of its own, DJs that draw tens of thousands of people. Open-air clubs that don't get going until 2 a.m., and a hedonistic summer energy that has defined global dance music culture for decades. But the Ibiza that doesn't make the headlines is equally special. The old walled town of Dalt Vila, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, rises above the harbor in a cascade of whitewashed walls. Number 9. Valencia. Valencia is the city that invented paella, and it takes that responsibility very seriously. On the city's outskirts, in the rice fields and orange groves that surround the region, locals still cook the original paella over wood fires in wide flat pans, with rabbit, chicken and green beans, not seafood, which the Valencians will tell you quite firmly. But Valencia is also one of Spain's most forward-looking cities. The futuristic city of arts and sciences complex, white curved buildings rising above an artificial lagoon, contains an opera house. And last, number 10, Camino de Santiago. The Camino de Santiago is not a city or a monument. It is a journey, and one of the most profound experiences Spain offers. This ancient pilgrimage route stretches hundreds of kilometers across northern Spain, ending at the cathedral in Santiago de Compostela where the relics of St. James are said to rest. For over 1,000 years, people have walked it for religious devotion, personal challenge, or simply because something told them to go. Today, walkers come from every country in the world, sharing bunk rooms and stone refuges, helping strangers with blisters, and having conversations that wouldn't happen anywhere else in their lives. The landscape changes every day, rolling green hills in Galicia, vast wheat plains in Castile, vineyard valleys in La Rioja. And at the end, when the cathedral towers finally appear through the morning mist. Spain isn't just a country, it's flamenco echoing off whitewashed walls, Moorish palaces carved from stone and mathematics, plates of food so good they stop conversation, and a people who invented the art of living well. Thumbs up if you found this video helpful. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more travel guides.